Hello everyone, welcome back. Well, if you're seeing this video, you have survived the end of the world. I mean, well, or at least you weren't taken up in the rapture, I guess. I don't know. I don't understand people, right? I don't understand people. How many times do we need someone to tell us that this is the end of the world? It's all going to end right here, only to have it not happen. And yeah, all right, eventually somebody's probably going to be right. But listen, when people are using the Bible to say that the end is here, and they're giving you a specific time, if they're using the Bible for that, reject it. Reject it. All right? And the reason that you need to reject whatever biblical numerology type thing that they come up with, right? Anytime someone claiming to be a Christian tells you that it's the end of the world and, the rapture is coming. The rapture is coming, I believe that. Well, maybe not as we think of it, but I'll get to that in a minute. Maybe not as we think of it. I don't know. But like I said, I'll get to that. Ignore anyone who tells you this is the end of the world, right? If they're using the Bible and a Christian faith to tell you it's the end of the world, and I can't speak as far as other faiths because I'm not as familiar with not familiar with them, right? But Jesus himself said that he doesn't even know when he will return. All right? So if you look at the Trinity, right? You have the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, right? Three all in one, but at the same time, Jesus, the Son, says that only the Father knows. So, if the three are in one, but yet they're still separated, so that he doesn't even know, don't believe anyone who tells you that they know when the end is coming, right? I mean, I'm 50 years old, right? If I had $1 for every time I have survived the end of the world, I'd have, I don't know, 20, 30 bucks, which doesn't sound like much, but that's an awful lot of times to survive the end of the world in 50 years. That's a whole lot of end times. I mean, there was the whole Mayan calendar thing, and keep in mind, a lot of these are not, biblically based, but there was the whole Mayan calendar thing, and then, you've got Penelope photobombing my video here, and, don't know where she came from or why she decided to show up, but I got distracted here for a second. But yeah, you got the Mayan calendar thing, right? You've got this one that was supposed to have just happened. You've got, some of you aren't going to be old enough to remember Y2K, but that was fun. The Hale-Bopp Comet people. Um, there've been quite a few of them. I can't even list all of them. They're I mean, let's just say I'd have $20 for if I had a dollar for every time I survived the end of the world, right? That's almost every other year I'm surviving the end of the world, right? So I don't know. I guess maybe it's not that much that I would have, but I bet I'd have a good 10, $15, which is still, that's an awful lot of times to be surviving the end of the world, right? There's always an apocalypse coming. And I was supposed to circle back to something, and I forgot what it was until I just remembered right as I was telling you that, right, I was going to circle back to the rapture, right? Christians, be careful. Be careful with that, right? Because the rapture, as we think of it, if you've ever read the Left Behind books, I mean, first of all, regardless of your religious beliefs, I would recommend reading the books. They're entertaining books. So go ahead and look up the Left Behind series. Definitely a great series of books. No matter where you are on. I mean, you can be an atheist, an agnostic, a diehard Christian, or some other faith, and still enjoy the books, right? But the rapture, as explained in those books, because this is what we like to think of, right? The rapture, wherein there's the big trumpet sound, and then dead people rise up out of the graves first, right? The dead are gone first, right? They're taken up into heaven, and then the living believers, those who are saved, are then raptured up into heaven, so that the rest of the world will face a period of tribulation. Well, this comes from a guy by the name of John Nelson Darby. John Nelson Darby was a 19th century, I don't know if he was a theologian, but he was a Bible teacher, right? And whether or not he was teaching accurately, we don't know, but he's the one who came up with the concept of the rapture. And this was just like 200 years ago, right? 1830s. So just under 200 years that we've been thinking of the rapture the way we think of it. So for centuries before Darby, this concept didn't even exist. Not as we think of it now, right? Is it scripturally sound? That depends. And I'm going to have to go through and actually do more research on whether or not it's scripturally sound, but you can take certain verses and piece them together and say, yeah, you know what, it makes sense that it would happen this way. Plus, a lot of scholars cite just the structure of the book of Revelation. So, we have no way of knowing, right? The only way that we will know is if we are alive when it actually happens. That's the only way we will know. And if you are a saved Christian, you won't even be here on earth to experience the tribulation. And I don't know, after learning that, I'm not questioning my faith, right? I am just questioning whether or not there's any legitimacy to this version of the rapture, right? And I've mentioned a good friend of mine who is a pastor, and I have not discussed this with him before making this video because I just happened to notice that, oh yeah, this is the date the rapture was supposed to have taken place, and it didn't. And by the way, why is it that some people were selling everything they own in preparation for the rapture? Why would you sell it if you're being raptured? What do you need money for? And for those who just gave everything away, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, on one hand, I kind of understand it because Jesus did say to sell your possessions and give to the poor, right? But why would you wait until the very last minute if you really believe that's when it is, right? Listen, don't ever believe someone who tells you that they know. Don't ever tell. Next time someone says the rapture is happening on this date, or the world is coming to an end on this date, whether it's related to the rapture or some other thing, they don't know. They're making stuff up. They are either a grifter, a charlatan, a liar, possibly all the above. Maybe they're just somebody looking for fame. Who knows? Don't ever trust someone who says that they know when the end is. They don't know. They don't know. Well, I guess I can tell you when the end is because it's time to end this video right now. I'll see you next time.